Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? I hope you're all fine and enjoying your life. Today we are going to cover economic development. The concept of economic development is not so simple as it appears to be. The reason is that the word development contains diverse and varied elements. There is no single definition which covers its various aspects satisfactorily. However, we give below a few definitions of economic development put forward by eminent economists. According to W. Elkin, economic development means a process which makes people in general better off by increasing their command over goods and services and by increasing the choices open to them. Mayer and Belvin have defined economic development as the process whereby an economy's real national income increases over a long period of time, and if the rate of development is greater than the rate of growth of population, then per capita real income will increase. Friedman defines development as an innovative process leading to the structural transformation of social systems. According to Kindleberger, economic development implies both more output and changes in the technical and institutional arrangements by which is produced and distributed. Development can also be redefined as an attack on the chief evils of the world today, like malnutrition, disease, illiteracy, slums, unemployment, and inequality. Now, coming towards the elements of development, the main elements contained in the various definitions of development are: number one is improvement in material welfare, reduction of mass poverty, provision of better health facilities, education, food supply, sanitation, housing, transportation, energy, etc. Fourth is changes in the composition of inputs and outputs by sector. Fifth is organization of the economy in a manner which generates production, employment for the masses. Now coming towards the economics of Pakistan, greater participation of broad-based groups in making decisions for improving the welfare of the masses. Distinction or difference between economic development and economic growth. The terms economic development and economic growth are mostly used interchangeably in economic discussions. Some economists, however, draw a distinction between the two terms. Economic growth to some writers means an increase in output per unit of input. It is related to increasing the production capacity of the economy. Economic development is sometimes more than that. It is growth plus change. It is significant of rise in the real national income and per capita income along with the following structural changes in the economy. Number one factor can be changing occupational structure. The percentage share of working population in primary sector declines and the percentage in the secondary sector increases. Now the question arises, what is the primary sector? Primary sector involves the usage of the natural resources available to the nation. So here we mean that agriculture related businesses, fisheries, mining, etc. are all the primary sectors. As compared to the primary sector, the secondary sector is the one which uses the raw materials produced by these primary sectors for, and it adds value to these commodities and make it available to the consumers. Number two is changing sectoral structure of national income. The process of economic development, there is a decline in the share of primary sector and a rise in the share of the secondary sector in the national income. See, here when there is an economic development, the share of secondary sector increases and the share of the primary sector is reduced. Changing structure of industrial production. The share of capital goods become higher than consumer goods in the total industrial production. Means those goods are produced which initiate further generation of income, and the consumer goods which are not produced for the which are not used for making further income are reduced. Changing structure of foreign trade. In the process of economic development, the number of manufactured goods increases. Technological process. There is a technological breakthrough in agriculture, industries, transport, and communication in the course of economic development. There is general urbanization and the adoption of modern method of thinking, acting, producing, and consuming. Growth and development go side by side. Economic development to an advanced country means a continuation or acceleration of existing rates of economic growth. For a developing country, it means a rate of expansion which can move a developing country from the state of underdevelopment to the state of development through the changes in the technical and institutional arrangements. Whatever may be the objective or goal of development, the essence of economic development remains an increase in the output or real income per head of population. Thank you.